Alright, it's a little wet this morning. Should have brought a towel. Good morning! And we are still in Fort Myers. We're at Cypress Trails RV Resort. We were actually here about 4 years ago and totally loved it. And made a lot of good friends, and we're back, catching up with friends and making new friends. And we've done a lot of videos on this place in the past. So for this video, I want to show you some of the things that we've been doing while we were here. One of the things was we got here early February and it was pretty chilly at night. So the manatees were coming inland. So I did a little kayaking with our friends Mike and Betty and saw a lot of manatees. Then another thing that we did was we went to the Babcock Eco Farm, I think it's called, and we did a swamp buggy tour. That was really fun too. We did that with Pat and Paul. If you have kids or grandkids, this is a really cool tour to take. We saw so many different animals and learned a lot about the vegetation in the area. Just really educational. Well, there are a lot of other things we've done too, like did a glass blowing. We rode our bike into Fort Myers a lot. That's one of the things we like about this resort is that you can easily get to places by your bike. So I'm sure there's other things in here too. But anyways, let's get started. January 31st, 2022, and I did some kayaking with Betty and Mike at Manatee Park right on the Orange River near Fort Myers, Florida. I did another video on this park in the past. You might want to check that one out too. We decided to kayak this day because the night before, the temperature got down to 37, and the night before that, it was 42. That is pretty much a guarantee that there will be a lot of manatees in the channel here. So I went over to the Welcome Center, which is where you need to go to rent these kayaks and pay for them. Then I went down to the launching area. And you can see they do have double kayaks too, but I got into my single one and got into the river, and then I waited for Betty and Mike to come out of the channel from the public launch area.
Or you could come follow me?
Manatee Park is a warm water refuge for the Florida Manatee, and you're likely to see them here when the temperature in the Gulf of Mexico drops below 68 degrees. Wow. Oh my God, there goes one underneath me. This park is right by a power plant that pumps out warm water, and since the nights were so cold, this is where they come. It was a beautiful day, and the kayakers were out in numbers, and it was getting a bit crowded, so Betty and Mike took me further down the river. Past the bridge, there's a little inlet that's more secluded where the manatees like to hang out also. So as you can see, this inlet is designated as a manatee refuge, and off in the distance, we saw a bunch of them splashing around already, so that is where we were headed. Wow. Hello. Oh, beautiful. thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it was awesome. You still want to hang out? I so wanted to reach out and pet her at this time, but they asked us not to touch the manatees. I get it. And off she goes. And this was just a little bit of what we experienced in this inlet. So as we're heading back, you can see it got even worse out there. It was crowded. So I went back to return my kayak, and Betty and Mike went down the canal to get back to the public launch area, which is right here, which is a nice area. The park will post daily the temperature in the river and the canal, and also how many manatees they counted in their canal that morning. 88. They were packed on top of each other. So here's your pro tip for manatee sightings. Go the day after a really cold night. You're guaranteed you're going to see a lot. A bright and sunny warm morning to you here in Fort Myers, Florida. Get the door. So another adventure day today. We're actually heading out with Pat and Paul. Here we got Paul with us already. And
wait, I'm not Pat.
not even
Paul, what about the
not even close. Okay, here we've got just Paul. Okay, there you go. So today we're heading out to Babcock Ranch. What is it? Echo Tours. We're taking a swamp buggy tour with them, and from what I understand, we're going to go along a ranch that has cattle, and we're going to get into Florida's nature and wildlife. We'll get a little history, a little wildlife of what's going on in Florida in this area.
You know what's the most important
Mark
thing,
looks like he wants to say something.
Most important thing is once again, I don't have to drive. I don't have to know where I'm going. I don't have to rearrange anything in the Honda. We have transportation provided by...
The gray bus is here.
Yes.
Gray bus is here. Mark, are you having back problems?
Yes. So I didn't know if you knew this about me, Sue, but I've studied a lot of foreign languages over the years. Let me just show you something here.
Right, I'm intrigued.
So here's the visitor entrance, and to the average person that's not with the program, they see this welcome sign and they go, okay, good. That's not how it is. You'll notice how big the L is. This is welcome, welcome.
What are you carrying, Mark?
This is for my bag. And I got a Fifi just to be prepared.
It's for your tailbone. So before you get to the visitor center, you walk through this area that's got a lot of educational things in there, really set up nice for when they bring school groups in here.
Baby. Oh, baby. It's like a bucket seat.
Our tour guide was great. If I remember correctly, I think he said he was a former teacher. He was so knowledgeable and so passionate about what he's showing us. It just made the trip even that much better.
It's 73,000 acres. We go through just a small portion of it. You're going to see different plants and animals in their natural habitats. I have a bucket of corn up here. And if you haven't been on the bucket tour before, we are the ice cream truck to the wildlife. Mm-hmm. They know I have corn. That is a treat to them. And so you're going to see animals that come to us. We don't need to find them. They will find us.
This would be a nice idea to cut out the windows on the, or if they put ones that roll down on the RV.
So as you can see, it is a bumpy ride, and a couple weeks before, Mark actually did a number on his back, so he wasn't feeling so good. And he brought his Fifi, he brought his back support, and I asked him how he did. At the end, he said he did okay. So take that for what it's worth. And soon after we took off, we started seeing a lot of different animals. What you're seeing here is saw palmetto, which is an aggressive invasive species that was brought to Florida in the 1840s. We drove by Crescent B Ranch, which is a working cattle ranch with over 14,000 acres in pasture land. There's a lot of history here, including when the telegraph wires came through. Then we came upon the cattle. They're called the Florida Cracker and is one of the oldest breeds of cattle in the United States, descending from Spanish cattle brought to the Americas in the early 1500s. Ponce de Leon actually brought 6 of them. These cows you're looking at are connected through their DNA to these 6. As you can see, they heard the bus coming and they knew corn was going to come flying out at them. By the mid-1900s, the majority of purebred cows had been crossbred with other breeds, and because the cracker cow had the hardiness necessary for crossbreeding programs to succeed, they created exceptional hybrids, and the credit for success always was given to the improved breeds, and the Florida Cracker was pretty much abandoned. The breed survived in its pure form only through the efforts of a few Florida families who stubbornly resisted this progress. And speaking of stubborn, this is Daisy. She refuses to eat corn off the ground. She's actually poking through trying to get handfuls from the driver, but he said this is a habit they're trying to break with her. There are 48 females here and only 2 males. One is an older retired bull, and the other is here to reproduce. And you can see here, his horns are cut back so he doesn't injure the female during mating. At this point, we got off the bus and we walked over to a boardwalk, and we got a little history on the cypress tree and why it was so valuable for lumber. Guys can't help themselves. The machine. And here's the watering hole, another one of the active areas here. And here you can tell the pigs heard us coming.
How did they get here? Another Spanish explorer, Hernando de Soto. These females are 6 months of age. They are going to reproduce.
So if you get back and you count the tourists and you're down one, you know they're here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. So this is Chomper. It's my friend Chomper. Reason I called him Chomper is because they can. Those crayfish, aquatic insects, even nuts and berries if they can reach them.
No thanks, I'm trying to cut back.
Chicken.
That is a black crown.
As you can see, this was a wonderful 90-minute tour. Highly recommend it. So we took the 9:30 tour, and we're glad we did it because there's a big group coming in right now. And of course, we've got to check out the gift shop. I'm going to have to see if they have a nice hat here.
Sue, let's check out the gift shop and see if they have any snow globes.
Well, we didn't find any snow globes, but we did find snakeskin ornaments.
Come on, Sue. What were you
Thanks.
a tourist?
Thanks for your wallet, Mark.
Oh, great.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on camera.
Yeah.
Couple cool T-shirts. Whoa. All about gators. Also bought one for my grandson. This was an awesome tour. Highly recommended. Anybody that comes, if we'll see how Mark did. He's got some back issues, but it was a bumpy ride, but we saw so much, as you see from the video. When your tour is done and you're hungry, they actually do have a restaurant here. So make sure you bring your water, and I am hungry. Let's check it out. Ooh, this place is big. How'd you do, Mark?
I didn't hurt myself getting in.
How about the Manly bus ride?
Oh, that wasn't too bad.
Really? Did
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. The only thing that was rough was when he was going to hand me that gigantic alligator.
Whoa, we're still locked in. All right, another little adventure for Sue. So I am heading over to Bonita Springs today because I signed up for a class at the Glassblowing Adventures in Glassblowing Studio. It's something that they had offered here at Cypress Trails, one of the activities. So I am on my way to Bonita Springs and going to get a little more art fix for myself. I'm excited. All right, so I'm here with Glenn, and I actually get a class by myself because the other three people aren't here, so I don't know who messed up, me or them. But anyways, lucky me. Glenn said he's going to show me a few things and let me participate too.
Yeah,
So.
we're gonna do some.
Woo! Let the fun begin.
Here's the big one.
Whoa, okay.
Put your glasses on. You see the difference, put them on and off?
Now, I have never done anything with glass like this before, and you can see it can be a pretty dangerous thing, and it takes a lot of skill. So, Glenn let me get a little bit involved in the beginning with melting and twisting the rods and stuff, but it was a great introduction to see how it's all done. Eventually, he took over and he completed the piece. This was a pretty awesome experience for me. I have never done this before, and Glenn has a pretty thorough studio here. You can see in the cases he's got a lot of other glass sculptural pieces that you can purchase if you like. So if you're interested in how it's done and little beginners, I would check this out too. And then there's one of our really favorite things to do is go to the music walk on the third Friday of each month downtown in Fort Myers. Not only do they have music, they actually have street entertainers too. And this year we noticed something different. They had the School of Rock there, which is a group of teenagers that were performing too, and they were outstanding. They also had a big band orchestra. And then we came across a band that we were just having a blast dancing to. Talk about a variety of different music. This is a great event every third Friday. But probably one of the favorite things we like to do is go for a nighttime swim. Even if it's really cold, doesn't matter. They have a hot tub. All right, we just got out of the pool. 48 degrees. Did a little swim, sat in the hot tub. I love this life. These videos were recorded about 2 or 3 months ago. We usually are a few months behind on publishing them, but you can also join us on Instagram. We're more up to date on that, because editing a video takes a lot more time than just posting a photo. Just saying. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.